Hello and welcome everyone. My name's Kim. I've recently moved up to Scotland and now I'm taking you on my adventures with me. And today we've got an exciting one. So as you can see here around me, the weather's beautiful, nice and sunny. There's a little bit of a breeze going on, but yeah, it looks pretty much perfect. So we're going on our first wild camping trip. Woo! Right, so I've been wild camping once or twice before, but always with other people. So it's pretty much just me carrying my pack, following along, but I didn't really have to make any decisions. So today's going to be a little bit different because I am solo camping tonight. Right, so I've got my pack ready. I've got my rough camping destination plan out, so gonna grab my bag, we're gonna head off. Okay, so we're about 30 minutes into the hike and I'm taking my first little break. That's, you know, we're gonna take plenty of those breaks today because, you know, carrying quite a lot of weight with us, definitely not really used to it. So, you know, gonna take it nice and slow and like I said, plenty of breaks today. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit about where I'm going today. So if you're familiar with the area, you might already have an idea of where I'm headed. But yeah, we started just on a little offside road outside of Aviemore and I'm hiking back towards Loch Einich. So looks like, I think it's about 7 to 8 miles depending on where exactly I'm going to camp, but yeah, I picked Loch Einich today because I am already familiar with part of the way to get there. So the route here through the forest and part of the hike, I've done that one before, and I know, you know, it's nice clear paths, flat, mostly flat for most of the way. So yeah, that's where I'm headed today. But yeah, gonna head back off in just a minute. Today's like the perfect day for hiking. So it feels so nice to be out here. I think it's about 13 degrees out. So we do have some intermittent sunshine. But yeah, also a nice breeze going on, so we're not overheating too quick. But yeah, it just feels really good to be out here. Okay, so we're at the spot here where you basically have two options. So you've got one path here on the left, which I'm going to call the lower path, and then the bigger one here on the right. So both of them eventually come back together further down. But yeah, both are beautiful. The one here on the left is more, as you can see, it's a smaller path. It goes kind of through the forest and close down to the riverbed. But last time I went through there, it was very muddy in parts. And the one up here kind of goes a little bit further up, and you've got pretty nice views from up there. But yeah, you do have to climb up slightly, and then you come back down at the end. But yeah, I would say if it's rained a lot recently, this one might be quite a muddy affair. But yeah, beautiful anyway. I'm gonna go high up today. On the way back tomorrow, we'll see. Might do the other one. But yeah, for now, we'll head here. Going uphill while carrying a pack is hard. But yeah, that's why we've gone to the gym throughout the winter. So yeah, gonna keep it nice and steady, but pushing through it. Okay, found a nice little rock. So time for another break. It's already from here, it's just the view is wonderful. That's why I love being out here, just, you know, enjoying all of this here around me. So I've just been thinking about a few things, and one thought that popped into my mind is that the really nice thing about wild camping is you literally have all day to make it to your destination. So usually I'm up and out pretty early in the morning to do my day hikes, because I want to make sure I've got plenty of time to get around and, you know, make it back to the car at a decent time. But with wild camping, I mean, my only goal really is to make it to a camping spot, you know, an hour or two maybe before the sun goes down. So I've got time to set up my tent and make some food as well. Well, yeah, so at the moment, I think today the sun sets at about 9 p.m. So yeah, I left the car at 11 o'clock. So yeah, that realistically leaves me with about 8 hours really to make it to my spot. Now the hike to Loch Einich usually takes about 3 to 4 hours, I would say. So yeah, even being slowed down by the pack and doing plenty of breaks, you know, still gives me absolutely tons of time to get there. And this way I can really, you know, enjoy the walk, look around, stop plenty times, and yeah, I don't have to worry about making it back to the car before it gets dark. So yeah, just a random thought. We've come quite a distance since our last stop, but decided to sit down here, down by the riverside, and I'm gonna have a little bit of a longer break. I'm gonna have some food in a minute, make sure I have plenty to drink, and then in a little while we'll keep going. We've got a little river fording to do here right ahead of me, but yeah, we'll do that after I've had a little break. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. So you can see it's quite wide across. There are some stepping stones. Some are quite far apart, but I think we can get through, so let's do it. We are across, hopped over those stones, and my feet are still successfully dry. Let's go. So we've been walking down this valley for a good little while now, but we are definitely getting a lot closer to our destination now. And just now we've come over a little rise, and we can see our destination, the Loch Einich, for the first time. We are so close to the loch now, so the big challenge now is figuring out where I want to set up my tent. So yeah, gonna get down to the water's edge, and then first thing I'm gonna go pick is left or right. So let's have a look. So I've arrived at Loch Einich, and now I've got to decide where I'm going to sleep tonight. So I'm sure there's, plenty of spots on either shore, but I think it's going to be pretty quiet tonight. So I might just, set up camp right here where the path comes down to the loch. There's, you see my bag down there. There's a nice little area, or right in front of me here, a little bit more of a grassy area, so I'll just have a quick think, but I think I'll set up right here. Okay, so I have decided to set up the tent right here on this grassy section, so let's do it. I put up the tent once in the garden a couple of days ago, so hopefully this will go smooth. Right, so I'm fully set up in the tent. It's gotten a little bit windy outside and it's drizzling with rain slightly, so I'm just chilling in here for a bit. I've got my Kindle with me, so that will be my evening entertainment. And yeah, just gonna chill for now, stay warm in the tent, and gonna make some food a little bit later. So I'm all set up here. I've also just changed into my nighttime clothes. So yeah, just swapped my t-shirt out for like some long-sleeved merino top, and I've got these nice fluffy. These are actually down trousers, so they're not, super thick, but they're nice and warm, small pack size. And yeah, they're super cozy to wear in the evenings. But yeah, while here, I've also feeling like having a hot drink. So got my cooker out, just heating up some water. And then I'm gonna make myself a nice tea. All right, people, so it's the next morning and we had a pretty good night. Sorry I stopped filming last night, but I've had some other people that camped up quite close by, so I didn't really feel comfortable filming. But yeah, you've seen the last clip. It started off really foggy this morning, but now the sun has burned through the mist and it's a absolutely beautiful day. And yeah, I'm all packed up and I'm gonna head back to the car. So expecting take about 3 to 4 hours, but yeah, I'll talk to you on the way. So we're already back where I had my lunch break yesterday, so we're just sat on those rocks behind us, and I'd have to say this is probably from my viewpoint, the biggest and trickiest river crossing of the whole trail. But yeah, I'm obviously here in spring, so there's a lot of water coming down from the mountains because we still got that snow on top that's all melting at the moment. But yeah, you always have the choice, take your shoes off and just going straight through the water, but I've been hopping the rocks. But yeah, definitely a little bit trickier with carrying a lot of weight on my back than usual. But yeah, always just take my time with it, and it's kind kind of fun. But yeah, gotta head back over this river. We gotta continue on the other side. This gap is a big tricky one when there's this much water. But yeah, just go across and we're nearly on the other side. Okay, so we passed the crossroad, so where you can decide if you want to go up the higher or the lower route about 10 minutes ago. And yeah, I'm sure you can see we're along the top again. And that's because right when I got to the crossroads, a group of hikers were coming the other way. They did tell me that it's still pretty muddy along parts of that bottom route. So yeah, we've come back up on top here. We've climbed from all the way down there up to here. But yeah, I think we've pretty much reached the top now. It should be all downhill from now. But another beautiful, glorious day. So I'm just a little past of where the paths diverge. I've just come off the side of the path here to sit down for a minute. But I've also just seen a nice little spot there. If you do want to camp in the woods, I think down there would look pretty nice. So we're on the way again. So I've had a nice extended break, just sitting under some of the trees here. Ate a protein bar, had some water, and just chilled out for a bit. But yeah, we're on the home stretch now. Should be about 50 minutes or so from here. But yeah, definitely gonna take my time because it's just wonderful out here. Blue skies, and I think it's about 17 degrees. So it really feels like winter's finally gone and summer's on the way. But yeah, see you further down. So by the time it's taking us to make the way back, and also just how my body feels, so way back definitely feels easier. I'm sure it's part to do with my bag will be slightly lighter because I've eaten most of the food that I was carrying yesterday, and I think also part of it is you just get used to carrying a heavier bag, and I think you do get used to it pretty quickly. But I think the main reason why the way back feels better is that even though the path looks quite flat for most of the way, you are going up to Loch Einich, you are actually gaining about 200 to 250 meters of elevation, depending where exactly your start point is. So yeah, that often doesn't feel like much. 200 meters across 8 miles is pretty slow. But at the end of the day, you are going up, and on the way back, you are going down. So yeah, not surprised that feel easier. But yeah, it's also nice for the way back for it to be a little bit easier. first time this year taking my long sleeves off. So yeah, really feels nice today. Less than 5 minutes away from the car, but yeah, this last bit is just slightly uphill again, so we'll push through it and get to the top. What a beautiful sight. Okay, so we've arrived back at the car, and I would say my first solo wild camping experience was a pretty good success. So as you already will know by now, so we hiked out to Loch Einich, which is roughly about 8 miles each way. Easily doable. So it took us 3.5 hours on the way out, and then we came back in 2 hours 45. A lot quicker than I actually expected, so I would have really expected to take 4+ hours to get out there. Fitness must be a little bit better than I expected. But yeah, so Loch Einich, beautiful location. Camping spots I think might be, like, there's not that many as far as I can see. So right as you come down to the loch, on the left hand side there's a grassy little area that has a couple of spots. I would say you could easily probably pitch 4 or 5 tents there. Otherwise, down the left hand side doesn't seem like too many areas because it's mostly all boggy. But looking across to the right side of the loch, there did seem to be a couple of spots where you could pitch up, but to get there you'd have to cross the river, and now in springtime the river is flowing with quite a lot of water because all the melting snow is still coming down, so the stepping stones that go through the river were completely submerged. So it would have been a, take your shoes off crossing, but I just didn't feel like that yesterday, so we stayed on the left side of the river. Otherwise, first time with this tent, I'd say overall I'm quite happy with it. Of course it's a pretty small tent, but that's what I went for, to keep it nice and light. Only thing I do have to remember, so when I took the tent back down, I did notice that I didn't quite pitch the bottom section, like the feet section, quite right, which is why the tent was slightly sagging on the inside, which made a already small tent even smaller. But yeah, that will be an easy fix next time. Just put 2 pegs slightly different. Otherwise, yeah, happy with the tent. It did rain some yesterday evening, and stay nice and dry inside. Yeah, only one more thing really that I do want to change. So my sleeping mat is really not the best, but I did know that beforehand because I have used this one before, and it really doesn't have much of an R rating. So what I did, because they're still reasonably chilly at night, I actually put an emergency blanket, foil blanket, under my mat, which does take some of the cold out. But even still, I do like to sleep on my side, so this mat's not ideal because you do get quite sore lying on your side. So it's just not quite padded enough. But yeah, I'll be looking for a different one at some point, but for the moment, we'll make do. Yeah, so really happy to have gotten this first one out the way. I think I did mention it earlier, so I did go out there solo, but at the end of it, it wasn't quite a full solo camp because yeah, there was someone else that did pitch up in the same area as I did, but you know, it was actually quite nice. We did pretty much keep to ourselves yesterday. As I said, it did rain and it got quite a bit windy as well, but yeah, we had a nice little chat this morning. The guy pitching up there, actually, he's fully loaded up for 10 days camping in the Cairngorms, so you know, taking it to a whole other level compared to what I did. But yeah, it was quite fun hearing about those plans, and you know, who knows, maybe one day that will be me. But yeah, at the moment just quite happy with that one night, and pretty much cooled off in the shade now. Let my, you know, all the sweat on my back dry, and I'm about to get back in the car and drive home. So thanks for watching if you've gotten this far. Hope I was able to, you know, show you some excitement, you know, something fun to do. Might even inspire one of you to go out to Loch Einich yourself and do a little wild camp. But yeah, for now, this is bye, and I'll see you in the next video.